Welcome back to Blackacre Ranch, everybody. It's another weekend. So we're getting some stuff done today. It's finishing up this 2.5 acres, or at least getting more progress on the fencing. And we're using a tool to make fencing a lot easier. If you remember a couple episodes ago, my brother came out with his friends, all the city slickers, his kids in other words, and we put them to work doing this augering and everything else. At the time I had the mower on and I didn't want to put my favorite tool on the front, but now that he's gone and I took my mower off, I'm totally gonna make this easier. So stick with us, we'll show you how to make hole drilling a lot easier. It's a nippy day today, guys. It was only like 83 just yesterday, so it's in the 40s, maybe 50s, I don't know. So I mentioned post hole digging. All right, numerous ways to do this. About a year ago, a little over a year ago, when we were doing our pasture, our little holding pen, we showcased this little tool. It's amazing, guys. Augering with a one-man auger sucks. At home, you might have a post hole digger or whatever. If you're on a ranch and you're gonna be doing this, you need one of these tools. That is the Danuser. So this is a front mounted on the front loader auger. Okay, it's powered off the hydraulics. Fabulous. Now I know you ranchers are probably thinking, what about the 3-point hitch one? There's a lot of disadvantages to that. I outlined that, and I'll try and link the video here if you really want to know about my thoughts on a 3-point mounted. They do good, they're fine, they're cheaper, but I think there's disadvantages that I just didn't like. This is a lot more expensive, probably 5 times more than an actual 3-point mounted. But anyway, works great. So sorry to my brother and his kids. That just sucked, right? But next time you come, we can use this. So this is on the front, offset. It's hydraulically powered. Now we've got hoses here that go on forever because most tractors don't have a front or a third function valve up front. I do. So with the kit, they gave you enough to go all the way to the back of your tractor for the rear remotes. Okay, enough of me yapping. Let's just get to the action. So this is, of course, the Danuser in its greatest form. And we sped it up twice the speed so you can just kind of get through this, right? So it's drilling down. I can wiggle forward and back, make sure I'm still vertical, put it down, pull it out, give it a little shake, and it works just great. That is not super sticky. I've had worse. So really what we're doing here is we're setting posts, and this is of course for that 2.5 acres. This is the southeast corner, and we're putting a number of posts here. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna split up into 2 different crews and kind of get it done super fast. All right, so you notice the pin has a screw bolt, a nut that's missing. I didn't realize that until, of course, we got to this, and later on it falls off. So, never have found that nut. This is more of that red clay that we're more used to. Alright, so this is that first group I was telling you about. They stay behind, they're tamping the post. And up front, of course, we've measured this out. They've marked it already for me. Grant has the post, and we're ready to start drilling. And that's what we're doing here. Now, the thing I like about this is I can push down with the Danuser. The front end loader kind of drops down, and then eventually it sucks down and kind of articulates the front loader down further, like that. And then I wait for it to just suction itself down, but I can put pressure incrementally down on it, which I really like. Of course, the best feature of this compared to the 3-point mounted is you can go backwards. You just can't do that. So I can unscrew if I get stuck, or I can screw it down further.
Where's the
bolt?
bolt?
No clue. It was fast. Here. That's still the boulder. No, let me find a nut. A nut.
Ooh, the bolt fell off somewhere else.
Right, I wonder how long that's been off.
Huh.
Alright, somebody needs to angle this. I'll have to go get another bolt nut. The bolt's good, just the nut came off. I'm going to lower this down. No, there is all sorts of like hydraulic up here. This is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm leaking hydraulic. Go
Oh,
figure, right? The day that I was going to showcase the beauty of this machine, my pin pops out, lose the nut, and I'm leaking hydraulics.
We're good. Yep, yep.
But I will say though, when we got this put back in, even without the nut, I didn't have any other problems the rest of the day. But I still do need to go get a nut.
Now I need it lifted.
Ram it all the way in.
It is!
Like, it was just this. I mean, it wasn't pouring out this bad before, but wow, it just started happening really bad. So I'm just finishing the hole, and then I'm going to go jump on this and figure out what's going on. I don't know what's going on. She's leaking because this guy isn't tight.
Oh, well, that's a good reason.
I'm going to get a tool and go fix her up. Looks like we're tied down there, and then it just comes up, and this is just to hold it. Wait. We've got the hose underneath here, tied into the motor, and then it comes up, and it looks like there's a fitting. These guys were both loose, and all the water's up, or the fluid's up here, dripping down, so this must be the loose spot. But as I tighten this, I think it just squishes these guys up against here. So we're gonna see if that works. Back to drilling. We hit a root or a rock, I'm not sure which. Took a while to get through this one. But I love seeing how the dirt just mushrooms out.
What you doing, dude?
Clean it.
Cleaning it.
Right, that's probably pretty good.
The clay's stuck on there pretty good, huh?
Yes.
Put it in. We put in and set, tamped, all of that, 10 posts in 2 hours. So about 12 minutes a post. That's quick enough for me. I mean, that's fabulous. The soil isn't exactly the greatest. It's got some clay stuff. Not as bad as other spots, but we cut through some roots. We did all sorts of fun stuff. So let me kind of tell you the madness to why I'm doing the post the way I did, and kind of just give you a description of it. This is where we're going to be putting an H-brace right here. It's about a 300-foot run going this way, and then about every 50 feet we put a post, approximately. So we'll see a 50-foot post here, you'll see a 50-foot post there, there, and so forth. So let's go down to the other side and I'll kind of fill you in on the madness because there's a lot of posts over there. Okay, the far two posts are spaced and they're actually about 15 feet. I'm gonna just put a T-post between them, put some barbed wire. That is in amongst a thicket of trees. The buffalo probably aren't gonna push there too far there. That's because that second post in, we're gonna be putting a 14-foot gate. We're gonna hang it on the far side closest to us, which will be the third post. And then in from that is going to be the other H part of the H brace. So that's going to be the H. Right here is where the H brace is going to go. The 10-footer, we're going to hang the gate from this side. Now, this is where it gets kind of funky and cool. That's because we have a 6-foot about opening right here, and then right here to this other post is going to be the other H brace. So we're going to have a single pull or single H all the way down, and it's probably going to end up about 250 feet, which is about what you want max for a single H brace pull. So what's this 6-footer behind me? That is going to be a fence line feeder. We're going to put the bulls in here. I want to be able to drop off hay. It's a lot easier if I don't have to walk in there, open gates, everything else. So this is going to be in the future. We're going to build a fence line feeder right here, covered. I can slide the hay in, just close the exterior here, and they can eat whatever they want, whenever they want. So we're going to have barbed wire run from here over, and from here to there, gate, and then all the way down. So that's the plans with here. Now, part of the reason I'm doing these posts every 50 feet, I did it originally on 6 and 7 up front. It kind of looks cool. It makes it a little bit sturdier. It's kind of like a really stout, whatever they call it, those little line things they put on the barbed wire to keep them from separating. A stay. Yeah, good job. So a stay, but we're gonna have people up here. This is next to the compound. I'm sure we're gonna get some moron or some stupid idiot who's gonna just like antagonize the buffalo or something. So I wanted to make sure this was a little bit more stout than average. The rest of the sides, and especially on the back side, we have a bunch of trees on there, and it's just gonna drop off a very big slope. So we're just gonna put a lot of barbed wire, T-posts back there, and we're not gonna use as many of these posts every 50 feet. So that was mainly just up here on the front. But as we wrap around, we're gonna maybe go either 100, 150 feet, just depends on the topography, and just fill it in with barbed wire. So I'm not super concerned about this one because there's not gonna be babies in here. It's just gonna be big bulls. They're not gonna squeak through the wire. And again, unless somebody antagonizes them, they're not gonna be leaving. So, all right, back to the action, guys. We're gonna finish up these last 5 posts, I think is all we got left. Starting with this one, we're gonna be putting a gate here on the side that's gonna go open up. Grant's marking the other side of it right here. It's gonna be a 14-foot gate. So we're putting this 14-foot gate, and then we're gonna wrap around the road. All right, when you're doing these fencing, you gotta plan these things out. And I know that I'm gonna be mowing in here occasionally, and I have a 12-foot mower, and I want to make sure that my 12-foot mower will fit between that tree and the new fence line, if possible. So wherever I cut it, hey, mark out about 13 feet from that base of the tree, pumpkin, and give me a good kick in the dirt. So you gotta make sure that you have room to do what you want. If I only left this at 10 feet as a gap, now I've just wasted 10 feet, I can't get a mower through there. So trying to use our noggin, make sure we're doing this right, thinking about stuff. That's why I partly want to make sure that I mow everything before I start doing fencing, just to make sure that I get a lay of the land. I figure out how I move, how it's easy enough to do everything with the mower. So we're gonna go check out and see where this is at. And then we need to see from post to future post, as it cuts this corner, as we round the road, we want to make sure that we're within or outside of that 10 or 12 feet, but not too close to the road. Okay, so this is the mark they gave us for 13. Now I'm gonna go over to about where I was gonna put my auger, check the line, and maybe I can squeeze my auger in to go straight line to the post we just did. All right, looking down the line here, you can see that that 13-foot mark is kind of off the road there. So, man, that's not a straight line. I was hoping it was more straight than that. So my options are, dog can move closer to the road. Hey, Clark, go 1 foot length closer to the road. Now put your mark there, put your stick. All right, that helped. Okay, the auger to that wood post isn't so bad right here. Hey, Clark, give me another 1 foot distance. All right, I think that is getting it pretty darn close. and we're gonna go ahead and go with that spot. We're not cutting too far into the road. We got all the posts that we had left. We put them out. We just finished 2 more that you probably didn't see in the video, but we gotta get more posts, and then we're gonna finish outlining it, and then it's just gonna be T-posts and barbed wire. Let's go check out the buffalo real quick, feed them their cubes, see how Achmed and Bartok and the wee chickies are doing before we head out. All right, guys, the animals are jockeying for position, and you'll see them off in the distance doing that. It gets kind of crazy. I'll walk through the herd if there's no cubes, but I'm not going to walk through the herd when there is cubes. So I kind of stand my distance. I try not to park my truck anywhere near all these things, and again, their intent is not to hurt me, but they're not going to pay attention to me when they have to move from somebody else. Okay, it's been a little while. It's been about a week and a half since we told you about Kisses, or since Kisses has had her injury, I should say. And actually, she's right here. She's walking away. Her butt's standing right to us. I think that's her right there. Anyway, we need to get a picture of her eye. If you remember, she got poked. We're not sure how much in the eye she got poked, and kind of how much of a blind spot she's gonna have. Let's see if we can get some pictures. So if you're new to the channel, all of our buffalo cows are named after Gone in 60 Seconds, the car list. And there is one that I won't name, is Eleanor, because out of respect to the car, which meant there was an open slot, and Kisses got this name. Hey girlfriend, what's up? So this is how we got Kisses. She loves to lick everything, from gates to, gosh, tractors, trucks, all sorts of stuff. I gotta get on the other side. I hope that doesn't mean she takes off, as she normally does. You can see it's scabbed over in the eye a little bit. This blind spot means, of course, you can't see out of that one eye. I'm seeing if I can get a better view here. Hi, Kisses. Of course, she knows I'm standing here, but she's also having to watch for all the other cows that are jockeying for some position. So you can see the eye. So as she moves the eye, you can see that that white thing is, the scabbing kind of portion is moving around. So it's not the entire eye. The eye looks like it's still staying inflated, liquefied, something like that, whatever. It's not all collapsing in. So it looks like it's scabbing up, but it does look like it's actually a considerable amount of that eye. So she will have probably, maybe not 100% loss, but a big chunk of loss inside that eye. Now, of course, that means Kisses can still function. She can still do everything that she's supposed to do. She'll just have to be a little bit more cautious with the blind spot, and us as handlers need to be aware to be cautious when we approach her from that side. There she is again. Now, of course, the day wouldn't be great unless we went over and checked out Achmed. I don't know where Bartok is. He skedaddled somewhere else. But our little Achmed, what's up, dude? Yeah, he's that kind of guy. He's got a nice fro going on. Where did Bartok go? Well, I'll tell you what, I've been trying to get Bartok on a film. He keeps moving every single time I come over and talk to him. So I haven't been able to get anything but his butt. And I don't think that's the greatest part of Bartok. So we are gonna wrap it up with these guys right now. We gotta feed him some minerals, but let's go check out all the mowing on Pasture 4. and then we can start fencing pasture 4. My goal is before March, open up 2 other pastures. We already have 6 and 7 opened up on the south side. 4 and 5 will be up here on the east. So let's check that out. This is now probably one of your first looks going east. Oh my gosh, is that not sexy? Okay, this is pasture 5 technically. This up here is the basketball courts that we will be moving, looking north, and then looking back west. We have, of course, my truck, but the handling equipment is over there. That's where the squeeze chute's at. So that's the full 360, right? But behind me is all of this done, and it looks, I think, amazing. No, I think everything looks better when it's mowed. All right, and there's a lot of trees in here. Took a little bit. There are some sections that are not actually mowed around the trees super close. There are some spots that have mounds of dirt and a bunch of junk in it, fallen trees, things of that nature, but I did actually get around pretty well. One of the things I wanted to look for when I was mowing the property was there's a lot of trees, and my concern was that there was too many trees to make it almost unkmowable. But typically this actually isn't that bad. The best approach I found was just to come down, come across, come down and come across, and just keep going back and forth. And it wasn't so bad. I don't have to take down a ton of trees, besides that scary dude. And, oh, maybe that guy too. But it wasn't actually that bad, so I'm not having to super thin down anything here. That's a positive, less work, but I love the trees in the pastures. All right, guys, so we're gonna actually wrap this up here. Beautiful spot. Train whistle and all, we loved it. Please like and subscribe. We got a lot more going on. I'm actually gonna show you that I busted my mower again 3 times, so that's coming up next time. But like and subscribe. We'll catch you later on Blackacre.